6.
Same thing on a rugged 2023 Ram 1500, the most luxurious truck in its class. From the Ram 1500 to the 2500 and 3500, Ram's powerful lineup of work-ready trucks offer impressive towing capability, payload, and more, all with surprising levels of comfort. And they're some of the toughest, most capable, and reliable vehicles on the road. Don't miss out. Visit us today and make one of yours with a great offer.
Work money. Hang in there.
I don't know how to do that.
Stand in. There's a police from the road.
Yeah. Oh.
Going to ruin some road for his
Next
dad.
week is
It's not today. Today's on.
Lakers! I have dinner in my office. I'm cooking right now, so yeah. I'm making some dinner. Cooking right now, so that's it. Meow.
One line at a time with help of Laura all on piano.
Never.
This corner of the audience right here can be suggested of something that embarrasses you. Y'all got the wrong name in bed. Wrong singing song. Take away Laura Hall.
That's what I'm thinking. Hi, Mary. I'm making dinner right now. Yes, I make dinner early. I mean dinner early today, like I usually do. So I'm making dinner right now. How's everyone doing today, huh? I'm making dinner early today. That's all I'm going to say. I miss making my dinner. In my house, I eat pretty early, so yeah. Yes, there will be Q&A later on tonight. What time? Not sure.
And look at this. A deer trying to...
Just looking at some old videos I did. World's Wise Police videos. Clear cups. Let's see here. What do I want to watch? Chernobyl. Watch enough of that crap, but why not? Watch it again. Chernobyl. Seconds from disaster. Seconds from disaster. Chernobyl. How is part on YouTube? What are you? Pizza. I'm trying out a new type of pizza. I'm trying out a new type of pizza I got from the store. It was cheap, so I thought, I'm gonna try it out. So I'm gonna try it. So I'm gonna try out this new pizza. It's a name brand pizza everyone knows of, but I never really had it before, so I'm gonna try it out. If I like it, I'll tell you the name of it. But right now, I'm not gonna tell you the name of it until I try it out. No, see if I like it or not. No one cares about your stupid. No one cares what you're wearing. That crap. Seconds from disaster. Seconds from disaster. Chernobyl. No. YouTube. YouTube. Seconds from disaster. Hindenburg. Screw it. Oh, that's fun.
The Chernobyl explosion, with some disturbing scenes surviving disaster.
Time's rising, Alex. Time's rising. It's criminal, and it's got to stop. You've got to stop it. So we need to discuss the evacuation. Nobody told them. Nobody.
Son founded, identified as Valery Alexeyevich Legasov. He's a big shot scientist. Been dead about 4 hours.
My name is Valery Legasov. And 2 years ago, I never believed that my life would end like this. I used to think of this country as a new civilization. I think we all did. It was like a dream we shared. But 2 years ago, we were woken from that dream by an accident. An unprecedented accident. I headed the investigation into what caused the explosion. Compiled endless notes and testimonies. And later, I had the chance to present this evidence to the world. I didn't lie, but I didn't tell the whole truth. Now I want to go back to that night when what should have been a straightforward test on the reactor led to unimaginable tragedy. I need to relive the desperate days that followed. I need to reveal why the world really came to know the name Chernobyl.
Do it now, I'm ordering. Listen, protocol states that when the power is dropped by its full 100%,
I'm about to delay this test again because of a couple of installment activities. If you will do it now, I will have you fired on the place.
listen, don't think.
I will remove you from this station unless you increase power. Now then, move to the road.
Produce reactivity reserve, yes, that's right. Now pause.
Rods controlling the reactor.
So I'm gonna have to put my pizza in it. I thought it was done with. It's not done with. It needs to be a little more brown.
Because at this time in the Soviet Union, any information about the risks of nuclear power was classified. As far as these men know, Soviet reactors are flawless.
Oh, there's some weird looking cigarettes.
Nothing ever goes wrong. Nothing can go wrong. Of course, some of us know different. Some of us know that there have been accidents. And for some years, we've harbored silent fears of something big. But in all that time, we've never really dared consider what we really meant by big. And we were about to find out.
Yeah, I can fish. Talk about fishing.
Between man and fish.
Switch off that whole safety relay and shut us down halfway through the day. Luber's Massage new teacher. He says he's a top 10-year-old who's breaking his school. Shut up.
Is it too much to ask to get this guy on you?
Let me know when the outcome's up. I'll be sending up in a critical soon. I'll be able to start off.
Very
So I just thought it might not that fast. But shut down turbine 8. Run a break, please. Take out turbine. Power's rising, Alex. Power's rising. Let me put the turbine in. You were stable just now. What is happening? Let's stop it. Control's working. He said, sir, I'm turning on the reactor. Well, there goes the test. How am I supposed to explain that? I'm sorry, sir. It wasn't prolific. The power was clogged. I didn't know exactly what was going. What was that? What happened? Somebody tell me what happened. What's haven't gone in? What's the... The rods haven't gone in. Let them drop in. I am doing this. I didn't go in the first place. I pressed the AZ button. It should have gone in. Maybe. Yes. Right, this is an emergency. Cool down reactor immediately. Increase the water supply. Cool it down. Cool it down. Thing goes on 27. It's not a forget now. Now, you say there's no water in the reactor. On the zero and on fire. What? No, what are you doing? This is my control. All right, the offer. Coming king of the party, got the 61 leg in front of the fire. Just look like Alex. And this is the nation. But get heads out of the reactors, lower the ropes by hand. All of them, go on now, they're going to shut it down. I am in charge here. I am in charge. Listen to it. What did you do? Nothing, son. I'm not understanding. I pressed the AZ button. We didn't shut it down.
AZ5.
How so? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's sabotage. What about war?
Yeah, you are. With us. Time.
There could be nothing. Welcome back to Powered by Joe.
Which is not true. You don't power my house. Someone else powers my house.
When the wanted to build a new plant, Consumers Energy was there to help them save money and boost sustainability. An energy efficiency consultation helped them find money-saving upgrades.
Still getting my dinner done.
And heat recovery systems to lower their annual energy costs and reduce their carbon footprint. They save even more with $5 million secured rebates. Discover how reducing energy waste benefits your business. Save energy, save money at consumersenergy.com/business savings.
Get a new cheesy calzone epic stuffed crust pizza for a limited time. Only at Papa John's.
Moscow television tonight.
От Совета министров СССР. На Чернобыльской атомной электростанции произошла авария. Поврежден один из атомных реакторов.
For the first time ever, the Soviet Union admits it has had a nuclear accident, and it's clearly a major one.
It's almost certainly the most severe accident that has ever taken place in a short history of civilian nuclear power.
Good evening, I'm Ted Koppel, and this is Nightline. It seems virtually certain that what the Soviets have experienced is a nuclear meltdown. How serious and far-reaching would the effects be? We'll talk with Dr. James McKenzie, nuclear physicist for the Union of Concerned Scientists, and with Dr. Marvin Dickerson, who is tracking radioactivity in the atmosphere for the Lawrence Livermore Laboratory.
This is ABC News Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Ed Koppel.
There is some information coming from the Soviet Union tonight, some but not much. United Press International in Moscow reached some residents of Kiev by phone. Kiev is roughly 60 miles from the site of today's nuclear accident. According to these reports, all bus service in the city of Kiev has been stopped, so that the buses can be used to evacuate those in the disaster area. From the Hungarian capital of Budapest, there are reports of many injuries at the site of the accident. And from Montgomery, Alabama, where the Environmental Protection Agency has its radiation alert network, there is word that radiation from the Soviet accident could, within a week or so, make its way over the North Polar region to the western United States. The effect of such radiation, if it reaches the United States, would almost certainly be very minor indeed. We will talk about that later. But first, an update on what we know. Here's Nightline correspondent Jed Duval.
In the Soviet Union, there is rarely bad news. Airplane crashes are not ordinarily reported. Many of the Western world scientists are convinced that in 1957 or 58, a large nuclear accident occurred in the Ural Mountains, some 800 miles east of Moscow, in the vicinity of Kishtin.
So how's everyone doing today? Good?
Examination covered 40 to 400 square miles. The names of some 30 visitors have
So I'm gonna try this pizza out and see how I like it.
Soviet map. Evidence of a disaster of some sort is
The name of it doesn't really matter. I hope it tastes good. So hope it's good.
After production reports, after lists of worker awards, and this is what it said. An
Okay.
accident has occurred at the Chernobyl atomic power plant as one of the atomic reactors was damaged. Measures are being undertaken.
It could be better, but it's okay.
Because of the accident. Aid is being given to those affected. A government commission has been set up. 4 ambiguous sentences that contain nothing about injuries or death. but that's four more sentences than the Soviets usually provide. So, Western experts conclude, it must be very bad indeed. The first the world knew of the accident was when Scandinavia noticed radiation in the air over the weekend just passed. Not enough to hurt anyone, but enough to frighten.
I would speculate that it was very serious. And the reason for that is that they observed radiation level 10 times normal from Finland all the way down to Stockholm.
Something very big indeed. Many Western scientists have
Okay.
said it could have been a complete meltdown.
The TMI actually was nothing compared with this. The TMI.
I could have maybe cooked it better.
High exposure, moderate exposure. It's really like
I could have cooked it a little better, but yeah, it's okay.
a mile or so per plant.
That was 7 years ago this spring, and nobody was killed, and very little radiation got out despite all the alarm, because at 3 Mile Island and all other American nuclear power plants, there's a containment building, a short, squat silo made of very thick concrete with an awful lot of steel in it, an expensive addition to the plant, which is supposed to contain radiation if anything goes wrong. Most Soviet nuclear power plants do not have such containment structures. Are they necessary? This is what can happen, and apparently has happened in Russia, as described by correspondent Marshall Frady in an ABC News close-up last summer. The worst that can happen involves a loss of cooling water around the fuel rods. Even if the plant operation is immediately shut down, the uncovered fuel rods would reach an extraordinary soon melting themselves right through the reactor vessels, beginning of a total meltdown.
There you go.
Ultra-hot radioactive material would drop to the core of the chamber, burn through deep into the earth, possibly releasing enormous amounts of radiation. Radiation from any source can affect the thyroid, the skin, the lungs, the spleen, the liver, the kidneys, the bone, the muscle, the reproductive organs. Its effects, cancers, genetic mutations. Very little radiation has been detected in Finland, Sweden, Denmark. It's a lot lower than normal and alarming, but still not harmful to humans. However, close to the Soviet plant, it must be another story. The chief nuclear scientist for the Electric Power Research Institute in Palo Alto, California, said tonight, if the radioactivity is a few million 700 miles away, I'd hate to be within 10 miles of the site. What about the people who live near that plant? Chances are, whatever they know, it's by word of mouth only. Indeed, it is Budapest Radio in Hungary, which tonight reports injuries in Russia and says that the radiation leak occurred next to a reservoir which serves the large Soviet city of Kiev.
They have not had the heavy regulation, the media pressure, the legal pressures that our nuclear industry has faced. Add all that up, and you have to ask yourself, can they be watching safety as closely as our industry has been forced to, or is it normal human instinct to cut corners?
The Soviets might well have said nothing about this accident had not the wind blown the fallout over their neighbors in Scandinavia. Did some of the radioactivity go also to East Bloc nation? It is difficult to imagine the southeasterly wind from Kiev near the accident drifting toward Denmark and not touching Poland, Czechoslovakia, East Germany, perhaps Hungary, countries that are several hundred miles closer to the trouble than Scandinavia. But there's very little official word from any of those nations. For the moment, it may be safe to say that Western Europeans, Americans, and the world in general have a better sense of all this than the Russian public. Jeb Duval for Nightline.
Later on, we'll be talking with two experts on nuclear power. But first, when we return, the impact on the Soviet Union. We'll be joined by Soviet affairs expert Dmitry Simes of the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, and by Marshall Goldman of the Russian Research Center at Harvard University, who has written books on Soviet energy and pollution problems. Joining us live now in our Washington Bureau is Dmitry Simes, Senior Associate with the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace and an expert on the Soviet Union. And Marshall Goldman, Professor of Economics at Wellesley College and Associate Director of Harvard University's Russian Research Center.
Gentlemen, we are going to have to infer from your knowledge to a large extent what has happened there this evening. And Professor Goldman, I wonder if you would help me just in terms of geography. We have a map in fact, that you brought in. We've done a little bit of colorway with that map, but let's take a look at it. There at the bottom we see Kiev. Up at the top of your screen, you can see the little nuclear symbol. That is the location of the nuclear plant. And what, Professor Goldman, is that body of water?
Well, my assumption is that it's the reservoir for the water supply of Kiev. This is the way the water upstream of the major city, as in Moscow. They will use the water supply by damming up, and it's possible, therefore, that this reservoir has been contaminated because it's really in the river, joined by the Pripyat River, and that's where the nuclear facility is located. And so it's possible that it's not just the other cities up north where the air cloud is moving, but also the water supply of Kiev is moving.
Now, if
I'll try to get when it's cooled down.
Roughly 60 miles from Kiev to the nuclear plant, then it would be, what, 5, 10, 15 miles from the plant to that water supply?
The plant is located right on the river, and so it's a question that could be 5 miles, it could be less. It's partly speculation, but my assumption is that it's very speculation.
Now, tell me a little something about the Soviet dependence on nuclear energy. How dependent have they become?
Well, it now constitutes about 20% of their electric supply. Their goal is to make it much more because their energy supplies have been completely in the western part of the country. And so they instituted a regulation basically which says that any electric utility built in the western part of the Soviet Union will be nuclear energy. And they build them in large clusters. They're actually 4 reactors operating in this particular facility. The first one was built in 77. And the earlier ones did not have a continuous cluster, as you reported indicated earlier. So they count on this, and this is really going to put a crimp in their efforts to build a lot more nuclear energy.
Mr. Sanders, what can you tell us? You have had to jump to certain conclusions about Mr. Gorbachev and about the Soviet Union under Gorbachev. Is it likely that we are going to learn any more of what has happened? In other words, more than they have to tell us?
First of all, the obviously will have to tell something. When they announce major disasters in the Soviet Union on evening news, on national TV, they always will tell, as they told us tonight, that there would be national commission of inquiry, and they would publicly report findings of this commission. But they would tell very little about it. They would tell very little about the real reasons for the disaster. They would provide a very brief summary, and usually the summary would be rather misleading.
Now, Kiev is a city of more than 2 million people. Somehow, even in the Soviet Union, something is going to get out of it.
Or there will be many rumors. And there will be so many rumors, so much different gossip, that will be very difficult to determine what has really happened. But I think you asked a very good question.
I'll put my shoes out for you, okay?
You're wearing so much praise for openness. And they made this announcement only when they absolutely had to. When the Scandinavians detected this reaction, their instinct was to wait as much as possible and not to reveal the truth to their own population. I think this is a rather revealing and sad story.
All right, gentlemen, let's take a look now at another map that we have, a somewhat broader map. And if you would just look at your monitors, you will see there again is that nuclear symbol just at 11 o'clock above Kiev. And then over there to the left, Poland, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and up to Finland. Does it seem reasonable to assume that nuclear cloud, that radioactive cloud, leads across Eastern Europe, and if so, are we likely to hear anything more, Marshal Goldman, from Eastern Europe than we're hearing from the Soviet Union?
I think we're going to hear about because they've been very much concerned about these things. We're also going to hear from some of the other major cities inside the Soviet Union, Minsk, the Estonian Republic. There are some very major cities in that area. And, you know, just like when we had 3 Mile Island, Mackenzie said earlier that it didn't compare at all in its magnitude to what's happened recently in the Soviet Union. And I think the Soviets are going to be very frightened about it as a result. They've been very
Okay, put it in my room, okay?
in the past and how they
Hear me?
safety precautions, and now it's going to come down.
Come next to my door, okay?
We want to hear from some of our scientific
Yeah, next
experts
door,
on this, and when we come back, we will focus on the potential effects of the accident with Dr. James McKenzie, in charge of nuclear power research for the Union of Concerned Scientists, and with Dr. Marvin Dickerson,
Lawrence Livermore Laboratories, who is tracking nuclear fallout from the accident. With us now live in our Washington Bureau, Dr. James McKenzie, a nuclear physicist who was formerly with the President's Council on Environmental Quality.
Thanks,
and
Mike.
is now a senior staff scientist for the Union of Concerned Scientists, a public interest research organization.
Yeah.
Harlan Dickerson joins us live from the National Laboratory in California, one of two nuclear weapons plants in the United States. Dr. Dickerson is project director of a group that tracks radioactivity in the atmosphere and is closely monitoring conditions in and around the South Park.
So we can begin to build a case on the transport of the materials out of the Soviet Union and into the Scandinavian area.
How important is that, Brother David, to you? Or more importantly, how important is it to us here in the United States? In other words, do you share the point made by the man from UVA down in Montgomery, Alabama, that theoretically this could wend its way to the United States eventually?
Theoretically, that would certainly be a possibility. However, from what I understand, from what I've heard in the media about the levels of the activity, even though they should enter the U.S., they would be at extremely low value.
So nothing worse.